Greetings, everybody. This week's Torah portion is actually a double portion. It is Behar and Bechukotai. Now, one of the beautiful laws that we learn about in this week's Torah portion is that it is illegal, not allowed, no way can do to cheat somebody in business. And there are many different ways you can cheat somebody in business. And the Medrash says the following story. There was a very big rabbi named Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. He was the head of the Jewish community in Israel when the temple was destroyed. Huge rabbi. And he wanted to come in to give a class one day on this specific mitzvah, on not cheating people in business. And he had the following quandary. He said, if I teach them all the different possible ways that you can go about cheating people in business, there may be somebody in the audience who will say, wait a second, that's a good idea. I think I'm going to try that. So maybe I shouldn't teach that. But on the other hand, if I don't teach this and tell them all the different possibilities, they will not realize that a great rabbi knows all the different ways you can cheat somebody. And he had a very hard time figuring out what the right thing to do was, until finally he came across a verse in the Torah which indicated that he should tell it. Now the commentators are bothered by the following. I understand if he had a problem worrying about the fact that somebody may hear a new idea and try to implement it and cheat somebody. Okay, that's a very good fear to have. But what's the big deal if anybody in the crowd doesn't realize that a rabbi knows how to cheat somebody? Is that really that important that everybody know that a rabbi could cheat somebody but doesn't? And they explain as follows. It is a big deal because what's going to happen is all those people who are listening and thinking to themselves, wow, I have such a great way to be able to figure out how to cheat somebody. You're going to hear somebody get up there and say, I know how to do it and I don't. And all the rationalizations of, well, everybody does it, go down the tube. And what Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai was trying to do was make sure they understood that there are people on this planet who know what the right thing to do is and know what the wrong thing to do is not, and refrain from doing what's wrong and do what's right, even though they have something to gain. And that is a very powerful lesson because we can ignore and rationalize, but when it comes to seeing somebody in action who lives a certain lifestyle and we respect that and understand that, it sets a bar very high for ourselves to grow and become that person. May we all use this time during the Sefira, the days leading up to Shavuos, to grow and to become that kind of person that our rabbis want us to emulate. Shabbat Shalom from Makor.